Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to episode 9 of Auntie Listen.
Hey, everybody. Happy New Year.
Hey, everybody. Happy New Year's.
Oh, yes, we are in the new year. Happy New
Yes,
Year,
we are.
everybody.
Happy New Year to everyone.
I keep
Okay,
forgetting.
Happy
we are
birthday,
going
Auntie
to start
Janisha
with our.
and Auntie Destiny.
Oh,
And seeing
thank
as
you.
Janisha forgot that this year, it's a new year. The age is kicking in.
Yes, thank you, Auntie Michelle.
Welcome, baby.
Thank you.
You sound hoarse. What's going on with you?
Oh, playing in the snow.
Okay, enough said. Let's get this show on the road. Auntie Destiny, what you got for us?
Okay, I'm going to start with our quote as usual. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today by Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. So I had to choose that quote because it's also his birthday this month.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Happy
what do you
birthday.
guys?
Well, you normally ask us what we thought of the quote, and I would prefer you have gone deeper. Like we always get that quote from him, as if that was his life's work. It was so much more than that, but I'll just stick a pin in it and appreciate that one for now.
Well,
But that's always my response because I hear that one from people all the time. You know.
I know. It's a huge thing. I didn't realize it was so many pages long.
Yeah.
And so I picked that one because that's the one that most people are familiar with. So I just really did it for nostalgia reasons.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll give them something else to go on. Oh, matter of fact,
Yeah.
may I? Because
So,
you and I, today is our born day, January 7th, that we're
yes.
recording today. And it's also Zora Neale Hurston's birthday. And I don't
Oh,
know how many people are familiar with her, but she was one of those phenomenal women that I love. Share a birthday with her and then a whole lot of other things. She lived back during the Harlem Renaissance. She was one of those women that aimed to be free, a free woman. Do you know what I mean?
yes.
She owned herself, and I mean, not in a slavery sense, but in every sense of the word. You know. May I do a quote by her?
Sure.
It's one of my favorites. She says, "This is by Zora Neale Hurston." She says, "Sometimes I feel discriminated against, but it does not make me angry. It merely astonishes me. How can any deny themselves the pleasure of my company? It's beyond me." That was her. And that's what I love.
Oh, that's a cool quote.
Totally different than what Dr. King was saying. I get it, but it speaks a lot of her as far as what she thought of herself, which is something that we actually push. And I know Auntie Michelle is always with the self-love that. So
I am a big fan of Zora Neale Hurston and a bigger fan of Martin Luther King Jr. I think both of them is honorable, and I am honored to actually drink from their cups because they are such great ancestors.
Yes.
agreed.
And
Okay.
the more I do read about her, I learned she was very spiritual and a healer. Very honored.
Yes. So, Auntie Janisha,
Yes.
announcements?
Yes, we have some announcements. One is that Auntie Destiny was actually a guest on Clever Conversations, and you can look that up on YouTube. So I wasn't able to find it because I was sleeping when you posted it. Is it on YouTube and then it's / Clever Conversations? Is that how we find that?
It's on YouTube, and the name of the podcast is Clever Conversations.
Okay. What's the name of the particular broadcast, the particular show that you were on?
Clever Conversations.
So, like, I mean, is that the name of the one? or the name of
That's the
her
name of her
podcast?
podcast.
Okay.
But is there are the
Like, what is
episodes
the
different
title of
names
the
for
show, the
different
episode?
days?
That's what I'm trying to figure
Oh,
out.
the episode was Christmas blues, something like that.
Christmas.
Because we didn't have Chris. We weren't in the Christmas spirit.
Okay.
Well, I was able to enjoy that episode. Very proud of you, Auntie. And Coach, whenever you get this message, you go ahead and invite me over to eat because what he made for Christmas was spectacular. I wish I
Yeah.
was there. Coach was on point.
Yes, he was.
Cool. I have to go back and listen to that. Sounds like it was really cool. The other announcements that we have is that we invite everyone to like, share, and subscribe to us on all of your social media. We are on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, soon to be Facebook, and you can listen to this podcast on T-Listen on just about everywhere. Most likely everywhere, but you already listen to podcasts. So there.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. And so welcome everyone to the new year, and we're going to go into celebrations. January 1st, 153 BC, New Year's Day. January 7th, Auntie Destiny and Auntie Janisha's birthday. January 7th, Orthodox Christmas. January 9th, Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. January 14th, Orthodox New Year. January 15th, Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King Jr.'s Day and birthday. January 18th, 1786, Religious Freedom Day. January 16th, 2004, Appreciation a Dragon Day. I included that because in Chinese New Year, this is the year of the dragon. January 22nd, Chinese New Year, the year of the dragon. I just said that. And then January 24th, I may butcher this a little bit. To be Shavat, Jewish Earth Day, or Birthday of the Trees. January 26th, 1788, Australia Day. January 26th, National Spouse Day. January 27th, 1945, is the Memorial Victims of the Holocaust. And so she don't feel left out, January 27th, Auntie Michelle's birthday.
First of all, I would not have felt left out because that's the most important day off for everything else you done read. Hello and
Excuse me.
goodbye.
No,
Period.
no.
We know
January
this. The audience know
7th
this. Everybody on
is
this
the
line know this.
best day.
Everybody know my day is the best day. And I
No,
actually
mine
had
is.
my son on that birthday. See, that God just want to keep giving on that day. It's
Nope.
just the bomb.com.
Nope, it is mine and Auntie Janisha's. That's the most important day.
Auntie Marva, you got
Auntie
that
Destiny,
boo
I'm not
button over there.
mentioning because she sounds like Charlie Brown's teacher to me. Wonk, 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 wonk.
Auntie Marva, you got that button over there. Boo. Marva, hit your boo button. Boo.
So I thought, since it's the first month of a new year, and it's always a reflection of new beginnings for me, I thought we would talk about careers. So starting a business, a new job. So that's what I thought we could focus on today. So I'm going to turn the mic over to Auntie Marva. Is she muted?
Okay, I'm unmuted now.
Okay.
Okay, so Auntie Destiny gave me a task, and I'm going to approach it. I'm going to approach this task and introduce this task that we will be doing with you guys from my point of view. On my way, right? In my own thing.
I'm sorry,
I
is it just me or your voice is low?
Yeah, I can't really
I'm.
hear.
Can you guys hear me?
Not
It's very
clearly.
low.
Let me see. I'm in the car. You guys know I'm traveling. Let me see if I could.
What about now?
Okay,
All right,
that's
much
much
better.
better.
Okay, so your audio, just so you know, you guys' audio is much lower now because I took it off of the car, and it's just on the speaker of the
Oh,
phone. You guys' audio
Okay.
is lower, but you guys can hear me though, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
better, yes.
so so I am always on go, which is kind of the reason why I was absent for many of the recordings in 2023. I and the reason why I'm always on go is it's mostly work related. Kind of the reason why we started late today because of me, because I have many tasks, or I take on many tasks. I take on many jobs, many gigs, or whatever. This particular year, I would like to, or I will be sharing. I will be sharing job opportunities, sharing upcoming events that I will be taking part in, and a lot of these events are centered around my occupation, and I will go into detail exactly what I do so that you guys can have a full understanding of where we're going with the information I will be providing with you guys for this segment of the show. So my job title is industry outreach, and I operate in this position for Full Sail University. It's a university just outside of Orlando, Florida, in Winter Park, the city of Winter Park. And what I within this position, so I am an alumni of Full Sail University, and I've been connected with them ever since I left. When I finished several years, quite a few years ago, and it's a while ago. It was right at 10 years ish, something like that. Maybe not. Yeah, something like that. But anyway, and I use my network as well as searching and visiting and outreaching to build relationship with organizations and companies to find jobs for Full Sail graduates and alumni. Because of that, it allows, within that position, it allows me to go to seminars, conferences, conventions. I make office calls with major corporations as well as mom and pop corporation companies, big and small. And I kind of go in with the mindset of being a mole to understand the culture of these companies and these organizations, figure out what they are missing, and help them create opportunities for problems they didn't know they had that can be fixed by our graduates and alumni. So that's what I do for the school. And because of that, like I said, it allows me to travel, it allows me to present and to host. I invite companies to the campus and I give them tours and introduce them to who we are, and to allow them to see firsthand some of our curriculum and some of the way we train these students. But that being said, I get the opportunity to know beyond our main focuses because our university is entertainment based. So we specialize in audio recording and music production, television and film development, gaming, game development, and the arts, technology, including cybersecurity, information technology, and computer science, and the businesses thereof in connection to all of those degree halos. But in my endeavors, I also come across other job opportunities beyond our focuses, and so I would be sharing some of these opportunities with you guys and letting you know of certain opportunities that I become privy of, and hopefully helping you guys land some, job opportunities. I am fumbling over my words because I am not good at. So here's a little thing about me. I trace, right? I trace. My eyes trace things when I'm thinking and I'm talking. And because I am in the car and I'm focused on the road, even though I've read over this conversation and this task in my head several times, because I know my go-to thing is tracing. When I'm thinking, I have to be focused on the road while I'm driving, so I can't trace. So it's causing me to stumble over my words.
Oh,
So, little tidbit about me as to why I sound like I don't know what I'm talking about. That's why I don't know what I'm talking about, because I can't trace like I want to trace while I'm getting my thoughts together with what I'm saying.
right. Okay. And then Auntie Michelle, you're up about women who are in non-traditional roles.
Well, I am a female and a mother, and every field just about I done had non-traditional female roles, from plumbing, aircraft maintenance, building and construction, trucking. And with that being said, I believe in women being able to go into different fields. I am a woman. Love working with her hands and strong tasks, not making less feminine at all. A lot of times in life you will get bullied, but it's not up to anybody else. It's up to you. So with that being said, I did step in, and it's challenging. It can be challenging, and it can also be intimidating times. People will challenge you. They're going to challenge you, and you have to give it everything you have. I have exceeded really well, great expectations in all the fields that I've been in, even though I didn't not complete aircraft maintenance. That was the time I lost somebody very dear to me, and I took a turn elsewhere. But in these fields, I love to tell the females, respect the masculine in those fields. We respect and bring the balance in, and when we participate, give it all we got, they will work along the side of us. The trucking industry is growing massively by everyday females getting in the trucking industry. I'm hearing more and more about the plumbing industry, pilots, astronauts, you name it. And it's a beautiful thing. One thing that I always hear a lot of males what we meet say about us is they like working along the side of us because we are very determined, for one, and we don't wear our ego on our sleeves like most men. So we're able to accomplish a lot of tasks in a very, very, a, a very, I can't get the word out. Oh my gosh. But yes, efficient and organized way. We perfect. And that goes to show that we do have something to offer to each and every last one of the fields that for years have been said that we should not participate in. That's a man's thing. That's a man's club. And it's a beautiful thing when we see people step outside the box and step into something that people try to keep you out of. In this field, I have grown. In the trucking industry, I have grown so much. And I will tell you, don't lose your feminine side. I did. One of my downfalls out here, I did lose a piece of the masculine, the feminine of me. We have to learn to keep it balanced, eating healthy, and just balancing yourself. But as well, giving it all you got. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. You're going to get the stares. You're going to get the, looks and some of the little comments. It's cool. Going to get that anyways. just here to tell you, like, we all know that. Gonna get that anyways. But if that's your thing, achieve it, understand it, learn everything you can about the craft, and be the best out. Not let them dominate you, but work along the side of them. And for the males, we appreciate you letting us step inside your space and, being able to show off our talents and show off our craft out here. I get compliments all the time from men and women, and I appreciate you all. But the non-traditional female positions, it is great. It is so great. I even work on my cars myself. I'm that female. So, yeah, it's just, I love it. I really do love it.
Auntie Janisha, I think you're muted.
So, this particular year, I am inviting everyone to continue along my journey of finishing my education. I had put it off. I've done all the stuff that I wanted to do as a matter of fact, but I've not had a degree, so I've not really been making the money that I could have been making. Also, with the degree, you have certain credibility. My experience gives me a lot of credibility, but I just felt the need to go back. So, as you guys heard from the beginning of the show, today is my 51st rotation around the sun. So last year, when I turned 50, I was encouraged to go back to school, to college, and I'm going for psychology. And as soon as I am done in a few more months with my bachelor's, I'm going immediately into the master's program. So when I entered this last year, I started saying that I'm going for my master's because that's always been the goal. So there's that. As of yesterday, I am back in the truck. Also a female truck driver, because I thought it important that I focus on my education. And this is a job where I can just do the job, go to sleep. I don't have too many other responsibilities while I'm out here over the road truck driving. Just sleep in school and drive. That's my interest. And in the meantime, when I go home, I am between two different properties. So I have a love of tiny homes and farm life and traditional things like canning and prepping and all sorts of stuff like that. So I am planning to get my YouTube channel up to and do a lot more photos and follow me and how I'm doing this, that, and the third. And I'll have those things available and be able to report them here on Auntie Listen. That's just what I'm working on.
So I have a question for Auntie Janisha and Auntie Michelle. How difficult or easy is it to get into the trucking industry as a female?
Michelle, you want to go?
I think you're muted.
Hello?
Okay, there you are.
Nowadays, it's quite easy than it was years ago. Picking up this trade, there's a lot of companies need drivers. They're willing to train you. You do have to do your due diligence of looking up these companies. And it's just like any other job. You want to interview them just as much as they're interviewing you. Look up their reviews. This industry can chew you up and spit you out. This industry can make you fold. I'm not going to say it's easy. Or I'm not going to say it's so hard. You have to find your net up here. I went through over several companies before I found the right company for myself. And I found my peace out here. I found the peace of mind out here. And so that's a great thing about this industry. Most people I talk to in this trucking industry, they find their peace. They find themselves out here because you're in the truck by yourself unless you find a partner and give you time to sit with yourself. So that's a great thing. But as far as like getting in the door, as long as you have great driving record and really know somewhat of a criminal background, but this is an industry for people what needs a, depending on what the crime was, what needs a second chance. Trucking industry gives you that. So as far as like how easy it is, it weighs itself out both ways. It's not so hard. It's not so easy if you put your time in and find your balance out here.
Okay.
Yeah, I find it, for me, I do find it to be on the easy side because it is, there's a lot of responsibility. I'll say that is the part that's not easy. But if you find yourself to be pretty much self managing, right? If you're a self starter and good at managing your things yourself, um, it is because you're pretty much your own boss. Even if you work for a company, you're out here by yourself. Nobody's breathing down your throats. We're pretty independent as far as ladies go on this line. So, and for me, that works because I am a self starter and I make a great employee, actually, but I am entrepreneurial spirited. So I really don't feel like I work for a company. They tell me what I got to do, I go and do it, and I don't care to hear from them anymore. And it's been a blessing to work for, because I have also gone through a few companies simply because of pay and also getting in and out of the industry. This I haven't been in a truck as of yesterday. I had not been in a truck for 2.5 years. So, no, I was just saying it was easy to get in. I went to school and it was like 2 weeks. I knew how to drive a stick, but there were people that did not know how to drive one. Um, but it's totally different than driving a car, obviously. But I'm just saying, some people did not know how to do that, and we all graduate at the same time, 2 weeks. However, I would say that I don't think that that was enough time, but you can get it. You can get it, and I've done fine. I think it's a pretty good way to earn a living, you know.
Right.
So that's pretty much all I want to say.
Okay. So as for me, for the past 20 years, I've been a business owner. I've been an independent contractor. So that is my jam. Although excuse me, I had mentioned before that I wanted to transition into tech. And so I started taking these free tech classes that I found and going to different tech online tech events. And so, excuse me, on top of that, I started a new business this year, a travel business. And I wanted to talk a little bit about if you're interested in starting a business, the things that you need to do. And it's really easy, not as hard as people think. Once you come up with the business name, you register with your state, you obtain an IEN with the IRS, and it's free. If anyone is saying that you have to pay them to do it, it's a scam. Don't. And open a business account. So you have to do. And then just do your marketing and get your clients or customers, whatever. So I want to talk about something that I had a hard time with, and that's have a healthy work-life balance, setting boundaries, time management, stress management, and the flexibility of your schedule. This was hard for me because I'm a workaholic and I can work all day and not eat, just get lost in what I'm doing. So I wanted to ask you ladies, how do you keep a healthy work life balance?
Well, this is Auntie Janisha. One of the very first business that actually means a whole lot to me was that time back in 2000. What was it? 2006, when Auntie Marvin and I started a magazine, and it was so much fun getting it together. But it was starting to become a headache or a task
Can y'all hear me?
because it was done inside of my home.
I think my
Yes.
audio kicked off.
So I will say the first thing is I learned that it needed to be separate from home. Like you can have a home office, but you definitely have to have hours at least. Everything cannot just be, well, should not, for me, be mixed. Just do this and do that at the same time. There needs to be some office hours. With that being said, even when you allow, because my phone is on 24/7 and I have had the same number since 2001. So it has turned into my everything number, right? But I've had to train people to not call me if you're not my personal people in my personal circle. Don't be calling me at all times of night. There is a business etiquette about life, right? So you have to set those standards and make people honor them with you, for you, even if they're paying you, even if whatever it is. Like people will do to you what you allow. So there's that part, the timing that you put things on, yourself on, and people on. And then the other part was the I just lost my train of thought. Delegation. I being a Capricorn like yourself, Auntie Destiny, just doing all this, that, and the third. Even though like I could do my own taxes, but that's something I don't do for myself anymore, and I haven't done so since I think 2008 or nine or something like that. I just stopped. Let somebody else do that because that's their craft. I mean, I could do it, save me a couple of pennies, but at the same time, if people that actually do taxes, they study them. They study the changes every year and all the stuff. And even if nothing changed, and I could do taxes, them doing the taxes, which is what they do, frees me up to do something else. Like you will quickly burn yourself out if you don't learn to outsource. So those are my things: timing and parameters and delegating jobs, outsourcing jobs. Those were the bigs for me.
Okay. I do my own taxes, even though I don't like to. But it's just part of being a business owner. And QuickBooks makes it very easy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Auntie Marva, she's muted.
No, I'm here. I have to switch it over because I can't hear when it's in the when it's on the phone. I have so one of the big okay. First, let me agree with Auntie Janisha with the whole cell phone thing. I do not. I use my cell phone for personal and professional reasons, and that has been a challenge to find a balance between the two. And I completely 100% agree with that. I am still working towards that with trying to learn when to cut off business operating hours. It's easier said than done. And mostly it's all my fault. So I agree with her when she said people will do what you allow. And so yes, you have to set a precedent and make them stick to it. Because if you let them, they will. And I do. It is kind of hard for me because a lot of my clients, I have many clients on the West Coast. I live in Eastern Standard Time, so sometimes I am working past normal or quote normal business working hours end quote that I would like to, but then also I have business that I operate separately from my job that would cause me to have to do those tasks even further than that because a lot of my business hours run late because many of my clientele is on the West Coast and I live in the East Coast. So I have not found that balance yet, but I will say a lot of this is equating to me saying no for 2024. Leading up to 2024, I kept seeing the sign that I needed to pull back more. I needed to I need to pull back more
Mm.
and find more personal time for myself because I was overextending myself to the point that I was exhausting myself. And a lot of it had to do with my personal life not being where I wanted to be. So I would overcompensate it with more work. Well, that just made me more tired. So I am right there in that same place with learning to find a balance between work life and business and personal life, and knowing when to stop and when to give myself, my mind, my body a break, because there is a breaking point, and I found myself being affected physically by all of the tension and the stress that I was putting on.
Right. Yeah, that's how I was as well. And
Say that again.
so we're going to talk about how to recognize if you have an unhealthy work-life balance and how we can improve it. Auntie Michelle,
Yes, I'm here.
how do
So,
you balance your work-life balance?
so everybody know like this truck have took over my life, and I'm not happy with that. I'm finding myself where I have lost a lot of time with family and things like that, and even doing the things that I really wanted to set myself, my goals, my to-do lists to do. So with that being said, I'm learning to balance my life now. It's kind of hard to get a sleep schedule out here. Giving myself time right now, got a set date that I will be leaving the truck industry because I can't find both in this truck. It's demanded. My health was at a scare twice, and it's other things that I really want to pour into. So I find it kind of difficult and unhealthy. So there you have it.
Yeah. So there's this article in betterup.com. It's a blog and it's how to have a good work life balance and an unhealthy. This is how I knew I had an unhealthy work life balance because I thought I was good. Constant overwork, regular long hours, including weekends and holidays, without sufficient time of rest, relaxation, or personal activities. Neglected personal life, sacrificing personal relationships, hobbies, and leisure activities due to excessive work demands. Now, I only have myself to blame for that one because it's not like I have a boss making me do these things. Well, I was the boss. I was the boss making me doing that. So I'm a bad boss. Burnout, experiencing physical, mental, and emotional exhaustion due to chronic stress and work related pressure, lack of self care, failing to prioritize self care activities such as exercise, adequate sleep, and leisure time, resulting in deteriorating physical and mental health, strained relationships, experiencing difficulties in maintaining healthy relationships with family, friends, and loved ones due to work related commitments. So, am I the only one? Well, and Auntie Michelle, are we the only ones?
I will say, I
Auntie,
anticipate.
can y'all hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
I can hear you.
I'm sorry.
I think
Okay,
that
can you repeat that question?
she's asking if you guys are the only ones that experience levels of stress trying to manage work and life, your work life. But I was saying that I've been told quite a few times that it's going to be really hard, or asked, well, how are you going to maintain, how are you going to work on your masters while on the road? And this is from people who actually do this job. Um, because I am a team driver. And when you're a team driver, you're expected to kind of drive your 10-hour shift, 11-hour shift, for the 10 hours, and then you sleep. And then once that's up, like they're done with their shift, you get right back in the seat kind of thing. But um, I took this particular position with this company because I know my team driver already. We've done this before in the past. So I know who I'm in the truck with, number one. I did not want to be out here by myself. That was the other thing, which takes some mental stress off of me, right? And then, but the part that people have asked me about, other truckers, is about this getting up, on this rotation of pretty much every 10, 11 hours, you're back in the seats. When will you have time, they ask me, to do your work and whatnot. But this particular company does not push loads like that. There's a lot of time in between. Like, I really did have to think about that. And with that being said, I don't think that it's going to be easy because the truck is always moving. So that means my eyes are going to be jumping, which is stress on my eyes, right? Stress on my mental. I already anticipate those things, but I'm giving it a shot. You know, it's something I haven't done, and I can't really even give any feedback on how I can make this happen yet. So I just ask that you guys pray for me as we pray for Auntie Michelle with the issues that she has had and is trying to manage with the health related stuff that she's going through.
Right.
Because, yeah, there are challenges, and hey, but we do what we got to do, right?
Right.
Absolutely. And I
Auntie Marva.
appreciate you for that.
Auntie Marva's is muted.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
I have been working. I started towards the end of last year in rearranging my life because I am notorious for taking on a lot of tasks. And like I commented just now, it's really, I do it when I feel like I have no control of my personal life. Business and my professional life is easy. The education, all of that is easy for me. That's very simple to do. Never really had any issues when it came to education with school. I was a bit of a nerd. I liked school. I liked challenging myself. I liked the more difficult subjects. When it comes to business, the same thing. It was never difficult. But my personal life, as with anybody, has always has this set of challenges that we face, and they could be different, and range on a scale from 1 to infinity, depending on the person. So my answer to that have always been, well, don't even look at it. Focus on what you can handle, or focus on what you can fix. And to me, it was like, well, I can go back to school, or I can do more business or create more business. And so I did that, but it got to a point to where I was having more business than anything and everything else in my life, and it was so overbearing that I had no time for anyone or anything else around me. And I kept wondering, why do I don't have any time to do this? I don't have time. I don't have time. So I had to pull back and focus. Well, why? And it was all self-induced. And then I had to ask myself, well, why are you doing that? And of course, it resulted in just me not wanting to deal with my personal life. So I had to make a decision, and that decision was to put on my big girl panties and deal with my personal life. No more running. So a couple of months ago, I sat down and I wrote down this chart, and I said, I'm not waiting until the top of the new year. I'm going to start now and start fixing on my personal life. Some of those things included my health. I went to the doctor. I had some issues with my breast last year, and I've been going to the doctor. As of yesterday, I can conclude that my breasts are 100% healthy.
Yay!
Hey,
I got
now.
back. Thank you. I got the results back, and she uploaded it to my chart yesterday. And so the only thing that it's mostly fatty tissue, which is dense. I have dense breasts, tissue. And so now the next stage of that is balancing out that, and that's getting my weight down so that I can change and put some balance in that area. But as far as any lumps and any foreign objects in the breast, they are all gone.
Yay.
Yeah. So and I was able to do that without any chemo or any medication. It was done all natural, and we can go into detail later, about what I did
Yeah.
to do that. In
Okay.
addition, I have been going deeper in my spirituality and digging deep to try and learn myself.
Yes.
My marriage has not been in a good place, and I wanted to know, why all this keeps happening. Because I kind of consider myself a pretty okay person. Like, I could be a jerk when I want, but for the most part, I try to put my best foot forward because I know karma is a real thing and I know it exists. So I try to be mindful of my words, my conversation, and how I deal with people. I try my best more now than ever because I was bad. I used to be very bad. And so the latter part of my life, I am focusing more on really trying to put a balance on, being bad when necessary and just really loving me, but also making sure that I'm receiving love as well. And so I've been focused. I began to sit down and write a lot of things out. I do a lot of writing. I have several journals all over everywhere. 2 inside my car, 1 at work on my desk, about 13,000 at the house, and so that no matter where I am, I can when I get a thought, I can write it down. And in these thoughts, I am no longer wishing or praying or wondering or asking questions. I still ask questions, but I analyze them now and I write it out in word. And I approach it with, scientific method mode, hypothesis, and then trial and error. So but I'm questioning myself about, real personal questions that without sugarcoating those responses to myself, because sometimes I used to didn't want to hear my bad. I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want nothing to do with what you got to tell me that I need to fix. I don't want to hear that. I am getting real with myself, and I am evaluating every inch of my life so that I can be sure that I am not the reason that my personal life is upside down. Although we cannot control everything that happens in our life, I can honestly say that if I look back over my life, most of all of the issues that I've ever had, I created them in my adult life. I created them in some form of fashion. It's my fault. So I am taking the time, and I know this is nothing that will start and finish with with anything else. This is a life ongoing task, and I will be continuously learning myself to the day that I die, but with the mindset of growth. I always want to continue to grow, and I really truly want to keep a positive, healthy atmosphere around me at all times, as much as I can control it.
Right.
So that balance, I've been making myself focus on a schedule. I've been adding things to my calendar. I have 2 calendars. As of today, I will be merging it into 1 calendar because of what happened today. But I now follow a calendar. I follow, and I follow it strictly. I depend on my calendars to remind me that now is at when work starts, when work finishes, and when personal life starts, and when personal life should be placed on pause.
Good. And that is a good transition to how to improve a work-life balance. I'm just going to do the titles, and anyone who is interested in reading the article is going to be posted in the description. So, number one, plan ahead. Number two, embrace the way your brain works. Number three, set blocks of time for different tasks. Number four, end work at a certain time. Number five, enlist technology to help you unplug. Six, go out to lunch and enjoy lunch with coworkers. And I'm going to say friends because not everyone has coworkers. I didn't have coworkers. Number seven, take time off. Eight, practice mindfulness. Nine, find something you love outside of work to engage in. Number 10, reconsider work that makes you yearn for balance. 11, communicate with your manager. 12, work with a coach or therapist. So one of the things that I started doing is having a technology free day. I don't answer my phone. I'm not on the laptop. I use that time to watch movies, read, or play The Sims. So, is there anything on this list that you guys do?
Yes, I do. Me personally, after everything has been said and done, I'm so sorry, y'all, about my voice. Oh, Lord. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So right now, I've been walking, I've been meditating, I've been talking with my ancestors, but I've been giving me time. I've been doing me time. Like I started something I wasn't doing too much watching any shows, TV shows, whatever. I got away from that. And it just came up in my reading, going to my childlike energy. And I kind of know when it's due time because that's really who I am.
Oh, I think
And,
did we lose her?
hello?
Oh, there you are. Okay.
Can't hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been doing my affirmations and I like Auntie Marva. I put myself on the calendar. I never do that. I have never did that. I felt like all this time I felt like time was just time. It's time. Time is endless. But no, I want to be on a set schedule. It's kind of difficult in this field that I am in. Definitely. But I have to find this time. It's no way impossible that I can't find the time for myself. I take full responsibility for me not giving me my time.
Mhm.
And I have been on a no spree. Oh, my kids mad, but they'll get over it. No, no, and H no is my answer. I'm doing good on my money, and no, no, the things I choose to do. But as far as no, I do what I want to do, what fulfills me, what I feel is necessary to do. So that's where I'm at now. And I'm choosing to pour into me this go around. I will not recycle anything beyond 2023. Beyond this, it will not. It's a no. If I'm not feeling you, it's a go. It's a this. It's about me, and I'm not being selfish to others. I am not being selfish to me anymore.
Right.
So, yeah, I always usually take myself out to eat and do those things, but I'm going to do it more. And I have several trips planned with my mother this year, and whoever would like to attend with us. But I'm not waiting for nobody anymore. So yeah.
Auntie Marv.
I have my biggest thing was the
Going deep, going personal, and I do a lot of prayer. I've been praying a lot. I've been reading my Bible a lot. I ordered new Bibles for 2024. I am a nerd, so my Bible reading goes, it's more research than just, reading because we can always Google a verse that will, to that will minister to us with according to the situation. But I like to research. I like to dig. I like to research, and so I'll read and I'll read and I'll read some more for greater understanding. But a lot of prayer. I've changed and I've added way more. And I always prayed, but fervent prayer now. And my prayers are different. My prayers are almost like how we all are talking here now. These are the type of conversations that I have with God. I talk with Him like He's my friend, like He's my buddy, because He is my friend. And so, I even when I'm in thought and in question, I be like, dang God, come on now, what's going on? Like this is how I talk with God. But I do a lot more praying, and it's a scheduled praying. I try not to touch my phone when I first wake up to make sure, and I started sleeping with my phone away from me so that I'm not inclined to do it, so that I can, as a reminder to pray before my feet touch the ground. Praying at night, and then I've added accountability with that. So I pray with my cousin Shalonda every night, every morning and every night. We read Bible verses. We discuss it to try to understand what we read, and then we pray together every morning and every night. And again, we started this several months ago. I have been communicating with someone, communicating with my ancestors. I am digging deeper with my spirituality. So I have had several readings done, and when I tell you some of the readings that I've had, it has been so eye-opening and life-changing for me that I can honestly say it was the catalyst behind where I am right now and how I'm choosing to live my life in these steps that I'm taking for my life to change. Connecting with my ancestors, acknowledging them, celebrating them, and thanking God for everything, all of the involvement of them in my life. Same as Auntie Michelle said, I've gone deep, and I mean going deep. Working on the atmosphere of my home, asking and inviting God into His presence into the house, like physically opening my mouth and inviting Him in the house, opening the windows and inviting in His presence and allowing His presence and nature to flow through the house, speaking negativity and evil spirits out of the house, inviting my ancestors, celebrating them and acknowledging them, putting their pictures on an altar, putting specific Bible verses, anointing them and blessing them over my doors, so that the precedent is set of the type of environment I am choosing to carry in my house. Cleaning. I have been cleaning because, as they say, cleanliness is next to godliness. But the more that I keep my house clean, the more that I've noticed my mind is at peace. My mind is at peace. So I clean, and I clean with a vengeance. And I'm talking about moving refrigerators, moving couches, sweeping and vacuuming, cleaning the carpets every 3 months, like cleaning. My closet is a work in progress. But the rest of the house, we good. But I'm thoroughly striving to keep an atmosphere of peace, and so I get it now. When they say keep your house clean, it reduces the clutter in your brain. It really does. When I come home, and I work from home, most of the week I work from home. So I work in a hybrid setting. But even when I'm working from home or when I come up work, I am truly at peace. And for years, I did it. I wasn't there. I didn't feel that. For the first time, I just told my friend this, because she's my friend in Atlanta. She's in that same place that we are. And I told her, for the first time in my life, and I've lived on my own before. I've had my own place before. And I've so I thought, prayed and cleaned up and, thought I had a really good environment. For the first time in my life, right now, I fully feel my house is a home for me, And I know I've never felt that before.
It's a
I
good
have
feeling.
never, ever, ever felt that before. Growing up in other apartments and other homes, I've purchased a home before. Never in my life have I ever felt like my house dwelling place was my home. I feel at home now, and so I'm doing everything that I can in my willpower to keep it that way, to keep that atmosphere around me. Not necessarily saying that I'm trying to keep this physical house, but the atmosphere of feeling at home. I want that around me
Right.
from here on out, because it's such a beautiful feeling. It's such a beautiful feeling. It felt so good to have my sister and my cousin come and spend the holidays with me, because we really we broke down, and it wasn't perfect. We kind of bumped heads, all three of us, but for the most part, it felt good. And I know for a fact I was ready for 2024. I was ready for 2024.
Auntie Janisha?
Um, Mine might seem a little more heathenish, I guess, but I just okay. So me being the oldest of the five, and I always have these dreams for my siblings, like a parent would have, or like parents have for their children. Like I actually do have for my real children, and so everything that I wanted for myself is it never kind of felt right if I didn't see that they had it, that they were okay, and all these things. So for a lot of years, I just felt the weight of wanting everybody else to be okay, not acknowledging that they are intelligent and they are actually okay. We are all okay, even though we had a rocky start. We had a lot of great things that there were a lot of great things about our childhood growing up together, right? But it's those not so great things that caused me to want so much for them. And a lot of times it was not even for myself. So the things that I went for myself, relationships in particular, were not the healthy, trying to fight
Right.
so hard for it, ignoring all the red flags, why I shouldn't go in that direction. Because I wanted the thing that I wanted while wanting things for other people at the same time. What I have changed, I guess, and it's been more or less since I stepped out of the truck over this past 2.5 years, is focusing more on what I wanted to do, things I wanted to try. I've always liked, like I mentioned before, the little uh, homemaker stuff. Like, I'm like Auntie Michelle. I do all this stuff outside the house. I like knowing how to change my oil and driving these big old trucks and doing all this stuff. But I'm also a teacher by profession, and I'm a massage therapist. I got to get into the soft stuff. Being a mom and now a grandma, all those things. But the mom and the grandma is akin to being the older sister, where I wanted stuff for people. But my kids are doing okay. And it really took some strained times between myself and my two young people to realize, you know what, they're fine, they're going to be fine, right? I was kind of forced to allow them, but it freed me up to really focus on my little homestead and learning how to be a chicken mama, raise some chickens from 2 days old, and getting this is now my third tiny home. I'm actually on my fourth with my friend here. But just focusing on things that I like. And I've never really kind of learned to ride a bicycle properly or skates, but I recently purchased some skates and I've been on the skates and I love skating now. Not great at it. I'm wobbly, but I'm getting better, right? So things that I didn't focus on for me, it was always attached to other people. Now I'm doing things for me. Even my friend, like I'm into archery and I love knives and stuff like that. So my friend, my partner, is into those things, and is able to teach me. And I actually told him, I'm using you, right, to teach me all the stuff that I like, the outdoorsy stuff. And he knows I mean that. I really do care about him, but that's the Capricorn in me, finding the designation in somebody, outsourcing, right?
Right.
Um, so it's just about, for me at this stage in my life, because I feel like I always said I'm going to live to be 108. That was the age I chose, just because, you know, up until 8 years old, were like, that was my most tumultuous time for me by myself. So I said, I'm going to get 100 plus my 8 back, right? So at 50, I haven't even lived half of my life, but this is where I feel like I have really started to live at 50. Now 51 this year, right? Just doing things that I always wanted to do. Um, and it's little stuff like skating, and yeah, I want to do some more canning, and I like snapping peas and picking greens, and um, just all the little things that we kind of, as a society, a modern society, don't do anymore. These are things that I actually like to do. Chopping wood, and I have manifested that into my life where I can actually do those when I'm not on this truck. So that's just where I am with it. Going back, claiming things that are natural for me, things that are I have an affinity to, without any I won't say well, yeah, I guess any cares about everybody else being attached or wanting everybody else to come along, because everybody listens to Big Sis, so they'll be here anyway. I can't
Right.
get rid of my family, and again, it's just a blessing that everybody is doing fine. So I don't
Yeah.
have to worry so much. I can just let go and be. And that's pretty much it. Not it's not that, it's just being.
Cool. Now we're going to move into the journey of self love. So we are on index card number 9, and this one is I am seen. Now we're going to open topics. So this just came to mind when I was watching a show. What creature do you like better in movies or TV? Vampires, zombies, werewolves, witches, or mermaids?
Witches.
Okay.
I like me a good old witch. But I have to interject. I have to jump off. Um, I let the announcement out a little earlier, Michelle. I was going to let you know because I didn't get a chance to talk to you. My aunt Gloria passed away, and I've been in transit heading to. I've been in transit to South Florida to be with my family, and I have just arrived. So I just want to bid my farewell until next time. But I do like me a good old witch. Good old witch movie, because the craft will always be magical.
Yeah. And extend our condolences to the family.
I will. I will. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Auntie Janisha?
I've never had a thing for mermaids, and that's probably because I grew up. Well, I know it's because I grew up in South Florida, and the mermaid, the idea of mermaids that we get in a broader sense is not the one I always heard about. Like, I have a lot of Haitian family and friends that their idea of mermaids, and even now that I'm an adult, what some of my brethren from Africa, what they speak of as far as mermaids, that's not enticing to me. It ain't cute at all. So um, I don't really know. That's never been my thing, even as a kid. But I've always loved the idea of being a vampire, and it was, I don't, that was never cute either, honestly, but I don't know why. I was fascinated by that. And But since and I just forgive me everyone who is a fan, but I just got into Twilight. I watched all of them just last year. I know they've been out forever, but last year I watched them, and what I know of wolves, pack animals, that reinforced my love for, or really, it brought out my love for werewolves actually over the vampire because of the family dynamic. I really loved how they moved as a unit because I
Okay.
have a love for animals. So
Uh,
it's a mix between them. But witches also that's always been a thing for me as well.
yeah.
So
Aunt, Auntie Michelle,
I'm a fan of all of them. I like weirdness,
you
so
like your fan of all of them.
yeah, that's my ish. But yeah, I'm a big fan of every everything that they think doesn't exist. I feel like it does, but that's
Right.
just me.
Well, I have always been and will always be a vampire girl. I like wolves, but not as much as I love vampires. So, what artist music impacted your life the most?
what was the
Oh, I don't
question?
care.
What
What
artist
artist?
music impacted your life the most?
I'm
So
gonna
for
say two.
me, it was Michael
Oh,
Jackson.
why you took mine? It's me too.
Okay,
I
like we
can't speak
can't
enough of both
share.
of y'all.
And we agree on something in that community. Really, but I have to say several people. But here lately, I gotta give a shout out to this young lady, Erica Mason. When I started going through my transformation 2 years in, I found her, and it's like every song that she rap. She's a rap artist, spiritual rap artist, and it's like every song she put out was about the transformation I was going through. Erica Mason, you rock. Like totally got my vote, but yeah, my MJ, Whitney Houston, Prince, man, I love y'all. Just a whole list of y'all. If I ain't say you, I still love you. I think everybody bring good craft.
Yeah. Auntie Janisha?
Yeah, I would. I think that if I somebody asked me actually if I were stranded on an island and could only have a specific catalog, I'm gonna have to say Earth, Wind, and Fire because of the harmony, the live instruments, and just the fun in the songs. Like there's this the sing along factor. There's just a lot in their music. They have a lot of um, meanings to the things that they say, even their album covers, um, their costumes. I know the folks ain't walk around looking like that for real. Just there's a lot about Earth, Wind, and Fire. I think they were way ahead of their time with a lot of the stuff. And the second runner-up is gonna be Stevie Wonder. I have to say, Michael Jackson, yes, but I think if I had to just choose one, and this is all I could listen to, it's gonna be Earth, Wind, and Fire because it's just broad for me what they were doing.
Oh, okay. Those those are good ones. Well, we have 4 minutes left. Do either of you have anything for open topic?
I didn't
I
have an
don't.
open topic, but I did have something that I found it was interesting. Um, it's made in the year 1957. This was posted in a newspaper,
Uh huh.
and I thought some of these were pretty funny. So one of them is, have you seen the new cars coming out next year? It won't be long before $5,000 will only buy a used one. These were in a comment section. Somebody else
Okay.
said, I'm afraid to send my kids to the movies anymore. Ever since they let Clark Gable get by with saying damn in Gone with the Wind, it seems every new movie has either hell or damn in it. Like, we're like way past that. Um, Somebody said, I never thought I'd see the day when our kitchen appliances would be electric. They are even making electric typewriters now. And then another one is, if they raise the minimum wage to $1, nobody will be able to hire outside help at the store. That was in 1957. There was a lot more of them, but I was like, wow, we have come so far.
That's funny.
Oh, listen to this one. It won't be long before young couples are going to have to hire someone to watch their kids so they can both work. There was still a parent out. Right?
Oh,
Right. Yeah, because that was not a thing in 1950 in the 1950s. It was
Yeah.
not a thing at all. That's funny. Well, we are at the end of the episode. So we want to wish everyone a good month, a happy new year. Thank you for coming along with us on this journey. And we look forward to seeing your comments and likes on our social media. And we will see everyone next month.